Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. I am Linda Gibbs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada. Stamping A to Z is my weekly live series that I do here on my Facebook page. It's basically a tutorial on card making, but it's focused on products and how to use the different products and different ways to use your products, so you can come up with new and fun techniques to do with stuff that you might already have or new products that you don't know what to do with. So hopefully it'll basically inspire you to get crafting, and I know it's my happy place. I don't know about you guys. So anyways, today for those of you who don't know, Stampin' Up! Released some online exclusives as of March 1st. They are kind of heading towards more of the online sales, since a lot of companies have online sales, and Stampin' Up! Is really catalog based at this point. So we still have our catalogs, we still have all those products. Then they're going to start, they released the first bit of products on March 1st, still on the online store, same as where you can find our current products from the catalog. The only difference is that those products will never be in a catalog per se. So they will sell out, they will, you'll have the same kind of inventory ins and outs. There's no deadline really for them to come and go though. So I'm not really sure. They're supposed to stick around for longer, but it probably depends on inventory as well. So anyways, today I am going to show you some of the products that have been released. I have a few of them on hand. Some of them are older products that they've brought back, such as the circle punches. Unfortunately, they are already back ordered. They're unavailable right now, but they are coming back. So right now I think it says they'll be available April something. So they're just like a totally hot tool, which I totally get. I was so upset when they took away all those circle punches because it's just such an easy way to add a layer to your card instead of pulling out your dies and a cut and emboss machine and all that kind of stuff. So especially for beginners or even just a quick card, the circle punches are great. I happen to still have my, oh, it's not even here. I'll be using it today. So there's a 2-inch punch, there's a 1 3/4 inch punch. Both of those are unavailable right now. Sorry. Anyways, I'm going to turn you around and then I'll just start showing you the products, and I have a couple cards to go through today. Hi, Linda. Okay, let me flip you around. Make you seasick for a second. Okay. Ooh! My clip doesn't want to clip. Okay, sorry. That wasn't a very smooth transition, but okay, let me just find it. Hopefully comments will still come up. See, I always see comments when I'm looking at my phone, but as soon as I switch to my iPad, that's when I run into problems. Anyways, so this is kind of their little flyer that they put out. There is a QR code that you can scan with your phone camera and it'll take you straight to the online exclusives. But if you don't like using the QR code, you can always go just to my store and there's a section called online exclusives and you'll find them there. So these are just some of the products that are available. You'll find many more on my store site or if you use the QR code. Okay, so first up is, let's do the naturally gilded paper, which I'm not seeing. Oh, it's because it's in the box. I put everything in the box so I could find it easier, and then I forgot it was in the box. Okay. So there is some nice designer series paper, it has gold, and so this is like gold and vanilla. And then it has white and silver. This would be really good for winter stuff or anything really. Put some flowers. And then it has the copper, bronze. I'm not sure. It is copper. So very vanilla, silver, gold, and copper. So you've got a whole gamut of papers there. These are super simple. It makes for an easy card. And I'm searching for my super easy, simple card. Here it is. Okay. Too much stuff out. So here I just took a piece of the paper. I took a piece of very vanilla. The 2-inch I punched out with the gold foil paper. And then I just heat embossed gold with the thank you from the Something Fancy greetings. And this ribbon is also in the online exclusives. It is a, why can't I have everything out and I can't find anything? Okay. This is like, so here's the 2-inch, and I don't actually have the 1 3/4 in this punch. I have this super, super old one. Still works though, but see, if you keep your stuff around, you have everything ready to go. So I have the 2-inch. I forgot that I didn't have the 1 3/4. I didn't order it when I ordered my stuff, and I'm sad now because it's not available. Anyways, this gold ribbon. So there's a 2-pack. It's called Gold and Silver Trim Combo Pack. And you get 2 spools with your gold and your silver ribbon. So that's another piece that's available. All right, so you can see how quick and easy that would be to put together. Next, I wanted to show you is, there is these Basics 3D embossing folders. They come in a 3-pack. They're all the 3D, so they're the thick ones. One is like a star, one is kind of a hatched, and then this one is such a cute dots. And I will show you in my cards throughout. I've used these 3 embossing folders so you can see what they look like. But they're really fun backgrounds, very basic like they say, so you can use them with any suite and it'll look good. So there's those. And then there is, oh yes, okay, where am I going next? There is the dies. So there's a set of dies. It's not a bundle. It doesn't go with a stamp set. It is called the Radiating Stitches dies. So they just radiate around the shape with stitches. It's kind of cool. So again, you can use it with anything, and a super simple card. I did case this one off of the Stampin'Up website. So here I've already pre-cut. So when you run these through, these rectangles, or any of them really, if you run it through, it cuts the outside edge and then puts the stitches on the inside. So I ran it through like a bigger piece, say it was this big, you run it through, you end up with a piece that looks like this. And then there's the bigger, the smaller, the even bigger one I'll show you on another card. And then this is the little heart that comes from that one. So again, you can see, like, you could use this with any set. So this is going to be just a super basic sentiment card. And with the stitches, it just gives it that bling itself. So now I was actually surprised. So for those of you that don't know, Stampin' Up! For demonstrators, you can find the recipes for their card samples that they have either in the catalog or now online. And it tells you what they've used to make it. So when I was looking, it had this nice color strip, and I thought it was just blender brushed across, but it was actually, it said there was blends. And then this is Coastal Cabana, this is Pool Party, my favorite colors. But then it says they used Balmy Blue blends to color it. I was like, really? That doesn't seem right. I think they made a mistake. Yes, this stuff is on the online exclusives. So anyways, I decided to try it, and I'm like, what's going to happen? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? It's going to look ugly. So I went in, and at first I was like, oh, I don't know. But then I just I did these like really jagged lines the first time, and it was not so pretty looking. But I let it dry, and it actually makes for a really cool kind of background. So for those of you that don't know, our blends come in packs of 2. It always comes with a light and a dark. So they're the same color, just one's lighter and one's darker, and they are alcohol based, so they blend into one another. If you are familiar with like Copic, any kind of the alcohol based markers, it's that similar. Only thing is with ours, you can't refill them. I wish they would make them refillable. So you can see like it totally changes as it, oops, I don't want to go to dark. I want to go back to the light. So you could totally do this with blender brushes as well and ink. It would just have a slightly different look to it, but I feel like this, yeah, see, it's dry. I don't know what happened. To get a new one. Okay, there we go. So as it dries, you'll see it'll like, but the only thing is because I'm doing it on my card base, these blends do bleed through. They're meant to soak into the cardstock. So because this is colored cardstock, just don't put too much, and then it won't, like that's probably as much as it'll bleed through. But if you don't like it, you could put another piece on top. And then this is just going to go on top of here. And then you can just put a nice sentiment. So then, I don't know why, I had put this in my retired bunch. It is not retired. It is in our annual catalog. These are great sentiments. So I'm going to take the I'm Just So Happy For You. It's already out somewhere in all my stuff. Okay, and then we take some Versamark. And we will need some gold embossing powder before I get too far. I'm going to make sure I have that out and handy. Okay, I always, while I'm stamping the Versamark down and letting it kind of sink into my paper, I close my Versamark, because when I'm using powder, the powder, when you flick it, it goes everywhere and it'll stick to your Versamark pad, so you don't want it to stick. Now, I was bad and I didn't use my embossing buddy to take away the static, but hopefully it won't stick too much. Give it a bit of flick here. It's pretty good. We have our little brush that comes with the embossing kit, which is, it's a really great brush because it's not too stiff if you're very picky about. It's really not too bad. Okay, and then I'm going to use my little holders here so I don't have to burn my fingers. Then I take my heat tool. And then you just keep heating until you'll start seeing it to turn shiny. My heat tool was cold, so once you've heated once and you're using it, it does go faster. We're just starting from the get-go here. And I just opened up this powder and it's weird, it doesn't melt. It's melting all bumpy. I don't know what's, maybe this powder is old. Who knows? Or oh, no, you know what? It's just, I wasn't holding it long enough. My older powder melts kind of more blobby, so it's just a different kind of look. Okay, there we go. So you can see it's all shiny, and that fills up that nicely. And then we just put it all together for a pretty simple, easy card. So I just glued this down, put my dimensionals on the back of here so it pops up, and one on the heart. And then these little gems are the glossy dots from the annual catalog. I used these ones, which could be Coastal Cabana or Pool Party. Either way, they look pretty on there. So nice, simple, easy card. I love these stitched dies. I can see myself using them a lot. Okay, so those are the dies. Then we have, oh, this is one of, I really like this one. See, I was just in Hawaii, so I'm still kind of in tropical mode. So there's a beautiful bundle. It's the Tropical Leaf bundle, and it's a tropical leaf stamp set along with a punch. So for those of you who don't have all the tools to cut and emboss and die cut, like with these dies that I just used, this is a really great set because you can just punch out your leaves and pop up and make some nice simple cards. So for this one, I told you I was going to show you what the different embossing folders look like. So I will do that, but I won't jump the gun here. First, we will stamp and punch a couple of leaves. So one tip, when you are stamping your leaves, you want to see which way your punch goes into your card stock, and then you want to make sure that you stamp that way to make it easier, and you're wasting less paper and fighting. You don't have to cut out paper when you're trying to punch it out. Just something you kind of learn as you go when you do it enough times. And you're like, oh, I forgot again. Okay, so then I'm going to take this. This is soft sea foam. And I'm just going to probably stamp it off. Let me just scrap paper here. I'll stamp this off. And then because I want it light, I kind of just want a very light. And then we have the veins for the leaf. And our CEO was on yesterday, and she demoed this set, and she said what this plant is called, and now I can't remember what she said it was. It had some big long name. If you guys know what it is, you can let me know. Where did I find the online exclusives? The online exclusives on the website. So do you mean on the demonstrator website or on the store website? Because that makes a difference. You cannot find them on the demonstrator website. You have to go onto the store. You can order it on the demonstrator website, but you need to have the numbers to put into your order. Yeah, so you can't find them on the demonstrator. I'm hoping they will put them on there eventually. I find the Blushing Bride is quite dark, so to get the lighter look of the leaf, I ended up just using Versamark, which I have shown before, where it just kind of does that nice light watercolor mark. It'll get darker as it dries, don't worry. And then I'll just make sure it's dark enough here. Okay, and then I'll put my veining on, which is a little bit dark. Maybe I'll have to do maybe I'll do the leaf. I'll stamp it off. Okay. Here we go. See, it's dark. I don't know. I don't like it dark, but that's okay. It is what it is. And then, easy peasy, you just have to take your punch, and you can always, these punches are meant to be punched upside down like this. So all you have to do is look where you're punching and off you go. And then I have my 2 leaves. Okay. Then I have another stitched die cut from that set I just showed you. And then I have the Thanks So Much from the Tropical Leaf set. And I'm just going to use my black Memento ink. Let's stamp that. So a nice Thanks So Much. And then we can just put some dimensionals on the back of my leaves. And you can just set them on. I should have probably not put that one on here. So if you ever put a dimensional on and you want to take it off, the best way is to kind of scrunch it and then twist it so it doesn't tear your paper. I don't know if you guys know that trick. It's a great trick when you forget. So I'm just going to put some glue so it glues down onto my other leaf. And then it's all popped up like so. Okay, so then, where did I took the stars embossing folder from the basics, and you simply put it in and run it through your emboss machine, and through the magic of television, it comes out looking like that. This is a great one because it's kind of stars, it's kind of flowers, but it also would go really well with our Seaside Bay bundle that's in the mini catalog. I made a card. Oh, for those of you that are in Card Club, you will see it because we are going to use it. So that's just a little teaser there. All right, so then you can glue it down. You can use whatever adhesive. Sometimes with the embossing folders, I like to glue it rather than using the Stampin' Seal because it doesn't hold as well. But it's good enough. And then I'm just going to pop this one up again. So the trick I have learned over time is less is more, and not because I'm trying to save money, which is always good, but because if you have multiple layers, if you kind of stagger your, oops, I don't know why these sheets have been tearing when I take my dimensionals off these days. So my leaves are layered, but they're not in the same spot as my other dimensionals. So then if it's going through the mail, they're very picky about how thick it is. So it's actually only 1 layer thick instead of 2. Whereas if you've got dimensionals everywhere, then you'll be popping it up in some places where it'll be double thick, sometimes triple thick. And that's when you can run into troubles with the mail. So that's just a little tip there for, so I thought that these looked a little bit tropical. That's why I used it with the leaves. So you can see it can be used with anything. Okay, that's the second one. Then we have a really nice complete suite of products. It is called Irresistible Blooms. So there is a die set, there is a stamp set, and there is paper, 6x6 paper that goes with it. And so you can see I've been cutting away because a lot of the times our designer series paper matches with the dies that you can stamp as well. So these flowers are the same as these, only they're already colored and stamped. So you just have to cut them out. Same with the leaves. So there's obviously other, this is a super pretty color pack. For those of you that knows our colors really well, you will notice that some of these colors don't actually go with colors that we have, and that's because they're doing a whole color revamp in May. So for the new annual catalog, they're gonna revamp our colors to kind of be back in line with all the colors that are in I can't think of the word. The popular colors that are, you know, they get old. We haven't had, like, we always have our in colors every 2 years. They last, we get a new set of 5 colors every year. So there's always 2 sets of in colors going, and they last for 2 years, but now they're going to do all of the colors because it's been quite a while. So if you look at the back, Daffodil Delight is a current color. Flirty Flamingo is current. Lost Lagoon is a really old color. I happened to find my old stamp pad. It's not super old because it's still the newer pad style, but the old pad case, I guess. So it was a 2016 in color, I think I saw. I think I found this and the marker. I couldn't find a refill for it. And I had paper left too. And then the other one, so then there's Petal Pink, which is currently, then there's Pretty Peacock, which is one of my favorite colors. And it's kind of this, this is what we're going to use right now anyways. So so this was from 2019, 2020. Maybe it was 2018 to 2020. I can't remember. It was one of the in colors, super pretty in colors. Those are the only two new colors that they've released that are coming. And then there's Soft Sea Foam. So you can, if you don't have old ones of these, you can always use the other colors that are current to kind of go with it. But I love the colors in here. So I combined this along with this stamp set, which is also from the online exclusives. And they are just stamps. So there's no dies that go with this. They are just stamped letters and numbers. And you will see it all put together. So first off, I've got some, this is shimmery paper, so it's not basic white and it's not watercolor paper. The shimmery paper is kind of your in-between. If you're going to be using water, but not too much water, you can get away with this paper. And then we're going to use our letters here. And our water painter. I need the other one too. Here we go. Okay, and then we squeeze the pad and we get the ink on the lid. And I'm simply going to, I should have stamped my flower first, but we'll do that after. I'm just going to give a wash here as my background. I really like this wide brush because if you're just doing something like this, it makes for a quick and easy wash. And then I'm just going to squeeze. Oh, there's not much water left. Wipe. Usually if you wipe it on paper, it takes away all the color off the brush, but we won't worry about that right now. And then we'll let that dry. And I'm just gonna stamp the flower. So with this one, I'm going to stamp and emboss it and then watercolor it. So I'm gonna take my this is my my old ugly, I don't know if this somebody got like the gold powder in here or what that was. I can't remember what happened. It was a long time ago. I have a nice clean one that I usually use, but I forgot to pull it out. Okay, so you can't really see it, but it's there. Then I take my white embossing powder. And then we will heat this up. If I can find my little tweezers so I don't burn my fingers. I love not burning my fingers anymore. This is great. It's a great tool that they came out with. So I don't know if you can see that. Part of it's shiny and part of it's still dull. So you know that you have to keep going until it's shiny everywhere. Because otherwise it'll just rub right off. Okay. Then we can watercolor our flower. I'll use my medium brush. So our water painters come with the wide one that you saw. This is the medium, and then there's a fine tip one that's more if you want to get some more details or fine coloring. Now I'm going to go past the edges on purpose because I don't want it to have a white edge since my flower outline is white. So I'm just going to go around and make sure that it's, and then I'm going to take some dark. I'm going to come in and I'm going to put some darker spots on my flower here. Get a little bit more detail. And what's nice is you can paint right over your embossing and it won't stick, it won't color it, it'll just wipe right off. And then if you want to kind of even it out, you can add a bit more water, give it a bit of a wash again, blend it out, okay. And then we'll give it a quick dry. Although, you know what? I did prepare, I was thinking magic of television again. I've already pre-cut my flowers. So you can see from the dies, if I can find them. Oops. There's a small outline and a bigger outline, and that just simply cut out my flower. So I just ran that through my machine and voila was my flower. Oh, and I forgot to show you, there are also these beautiful beads which I will be using. They are part of the suite. They are currently back ordered. They will be back, I think, I can't remember what these ones said. I want to say May, but I think I'm wrong. It might have been the end of March. I can't remember. Anyways, they will be back and available. Okay, so now on here, I'm going to stamp Happy in full strength here. Oh, I think I started too far down. Shoot. I think guess we'll find out. I'm going to put my A really close to my H because I know it's a tight fit. Worked. Perfect. There we go. We've got our happy from our classic letters. And then I took, this is for you, but I took it out of a retired set. There is a for you, I realized, in the mini catalog in the Valentine, the love, I can't think what it's called right now. Love for you, or it's the one that has the words in it. Anyways, there's lots of stamp sets out there that have for you. So I just need it, and so I'm gonna make sure I use my powder for this, and maybe I'll just give it a quick dry, because since I'm putting powder on some wet stuff, I don't want it to stick where I don't want it. Okay, so we'll give it a good rub. And then where's the mark? For you. And then we'll take our white embossing powder again. There we go. And then we'll just heat that up. You could do it with the blue. You don't have to do it with the white. If you didn't want to emboss. Whatever suits your fancy. And then I've got, so once again, I took one of the embossing folders. If I can find them, they're all buried now. Anyways, it's the thatched, oh, there it is. This one, put it through, and then this is how it came out. And then you can probably tell in the video that it's not super visible, at least not on the video. So I wanted to make it stand out a little bit more. So I took my Whisper White ink, and you can tell I've run it on the blue paper because it's got some blue on it, but that's okay. And I'm just gonna rub it over. My white probably needs to be re-inked, but as long as you don't press too hard, it just gets the tops of the embossed paper. So that just makes it pop a little more. And then we put that there and that there, and we cut out some, you can stamp the leaves. There's from the stamp set. But I was lazy and I cut them out of the designer series paper. And then, so here is the finished card. And you can see the blue, what are they called? Frosted dots. So the easiest way to put these don't have adhesive on them. So the easiest way to put them on is just put a little glue dot, or else a glue dot or a glue dot. You can put a real dot of glue, or you can use the mini glue dots and stick them on. But the mini glue dots, you'd have to roll probably for the smaller ones, but they would work well with the bigger ones. So it just depends what your preference is. But there's the nice in bloom card. I have a couple other, so this is to show you what the dies. So there's two neat dies in here. There's the lines one, and then there's a circle one. So this is the lines. And I just glued it down. I took a piece of the 6x6 designer series paper. I folded it in half. I added a piece of basic white, and then I added, this is cut out twice, and then this is from the designer series paper as well. and then some little butterflies. So super quick, but it looks really cool. And then the next card is this one, and this one is just to show you the dots from the third embossing folder that's in the basics. These cute little bumpies, that's what it looks like, and I thought it looked really good with and then this is the circle die that's in there. So it cuts out all these pieces, but it doesn't cut out a circle, so you can put it in anything and have a cool, but you could, if you had a circle die or you wanted to cut out a circle, you could cut out the circle. And these are designer series paper, and these are the frosted dots, again, more designer series paper. Don't look at it too close because this is one of our club cards. Yeah, so that's the suite. And then I have one more bundle to show you. There is some other stuff on there. I just don't have it all, obviously. I can't have everything. So this other bundle that I have is called Rhino Ready. And it's a super fun stamp set with the 3 cute rhinoceroses. The grass is awesome because there's, you can cut out the grass. It has lots of fun sentiments. The die set is even more fun. It has, here, let me show you the card here. So I made this card to kind of show you most of the pieces and parts. It has the fun little birthday horn that it actually has a die to cut it out. It has 2 dies to cut out the birds, the little birdie. It has a die each for the rhinoceros. And then it has this beautiful tree and then bushes. So there's 2 pieces of bushes, that's those 2. Then there's 2 tree toppers, and then there's 2 sets of branches which go in behind, which is really cool. And then you can see I've used the stitch dies again. And this is, I used it for the first time. This is in the mini catalog. It's a shimmery textured, it's like, it almost feels plasticky, but it's not. You can see it die cuts well. And then I just colored the rhinoceros ones. And then it has the cute little party hat. It has some tropical leaves in here as well and some other leaves, but I've used almost all, and then the grass, like I said, I didn't use the grass. So it's a really fun, hi Yolanda, you caught me at the end. Okay, let me show you the cards one last time since you probably missed them all. That's okay, you can, the replay will be on right away. Right away here. So this, I didn't show how to make this card, but this is the Rhinoceros Ready bundle. This is the tropical leaf. Oh, this is, I didn't use my bone folder, so that one's not sitting well. Where's my, I've lost my other cards. Okay, here we go. Here's the In Bloom. Here's the Easy Peasy Thank You, and our I'm Just So Happy for You. So those are all the fun items that are in our online exclusives. Hopefully, yeah, aren't the blooms pretty? I was like, oh, I have so many flowers already, but they always come out with something, something even better. Anyways, so those are my cards for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed them. Hopefully, if you're having troubles finding these products, again, they're not in any catalog. They're just in the online store. Or if you saw something you want, you can order it through your demonstrator. You just won't ever see it in a catalog per se. Like I said, there is a QR code, and I believe it is on my Facebook page. My sheet's buried now. Yeah, no worries. I'm glad you at least saw the end of it. Thanks for coming to watch, guys. I love it when I'm not all by myself, talking to myself. So it's always fun that there's people watching. Hopefully you have a great rest of your week. Actually, I won't be live next week. I will be on a plane. My youngest has a competition in Montreal and I'm heading with him. So I will be back for the following Wednesday though. So have a great 2 weeks and we will hopefully see you in 2 weeks. Bye.